Number 5 thing, and this is one that ain't going to be very popular, but we're going to say it anyway, is that you need to be living below your means. Not at your means, not above your means, below your means.
That's just fiscally responsible. Like there's a saying that if you can't buy something twice, then you can't afford it.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like you can't buy something more than once. If you can just, I can buy, I got $500 in my pocket. I can get this controller. I can get this whatever. But do you have $1,500 in your pocket?
Yeah, to where you don't even
to where you could. Yeah, to where you don't feel that 500 gone as much.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, see what people think they're going to do. And they think that they can have a lifestyle. Because, look, no matter what kind of job you do, working affords you a certain lifestyle, a certain level of, of living. You have that, right? Because you have a job. You know you're going to get paid every week or month or whatever your salary is. So you start to live a certain kind of way. What many people think that they're going to do is that they're going to switch over to art and nothing's going to change. It's not the same. And what happens
everything changes. Bro.
It changes. And this is not and I'll say this is for everyone out there. The reason that I've made it this long is because I understand times of abundance and I understand lean times. Mm-hmm. You're going to have both at this. You're going to have times of abundance and you're going to have times where shit is lean. You got to be able to have a standard of living that allows you to make it through both without doing nothing crazy. So when things get lean, shit needs to stay steady for you. When shit get abundant, shit need to stay steady for you. Mm-hmm. But what people think is they come in, they do their first whatever tour, they get that first album advance, they make some money. They think it's going to always be like that. What happens? You take a year off, have a kid, something happen, your girlfriend or your wife want a new crib.
Next record don't sell.
Oh, yeah. Forgot all about that.
Come on now.
Your joint go wood.
Come on. That's the worst. Especially when you invest in your own money.
Yeah,
that's a different conversation.
Yeah, some shit you thought was going to pop, don't pop.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting your bread back as fast. Oh. When in those moments, you be thinking, whew, I'm glad I didn't commit too much money out there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't live above my means. Man, because that didn't do well, but I'll come back on the next one. I'm keeping it steady. You have to, as an artist, you have to at least understand how to live below your means, because at the end of the day, this is not as predictable as a normal job is.
It's volatile as hell, dude.
Yeah. Because
it's
art
straight
is subjective.
Volatile. Yeah. It's volatile as I don't know what. It's like the stock market.
Yep.
It's like playing a fucking stock. Like you buying all these shares. Basically, your album is you buying all these shares.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a new company because it's a new record.
Yep.
So you buying all these shares in this new company, and you don't know if the company is going to be successful. You don't know if the company is going to fucking, nobody's going to support the company.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So it's more volatile than the stock market. At least stock market, you got projections and shit.
Yeah.
Like you can
Quarterly
try to do all that shit. Yeah, all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like buying stock in a company that didn't exist before you bought it.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's not always going to be there, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not always going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I advise artists to learn how. Like, I ain't saying you can't have nice shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying that one of the core things you need to learn if you go into business for yourself is to live below your means. And the easiest time to learn that is when you have a job.
Right.
When you have income that's coming in and you have the ability to live below your means, learn how to do it. Because there's no way you're going to learn that under the immense pressure that comes with doing it full time. It's different. So it's
Very
like,
different.
learn it when there's no pressure. so that when you make the transition, you can be better at it. Because trust me, it's a skill you need to have. And this is, again, this episode, I'm kind of giving you guys the keys to how to make this shit work. It's going to some people like, oh, he's telling me not to do it. He's telling me, no, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm kind of telling you the keys, the traits you need, skills you need to be able to pull this shit off. So that's number 5. Number 6 thing, reality, the truth about having a job and pursuing your art. The number 6 reality is that being a full-time artist is pretty much a sales job.
Hate it.
Elijah,
you don't got no choice.
Sales, but
not good at sales at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, most people who talk about jobs, oh man, I don't want no job. I don't want to work for no sales company. I don't want to be cold calling people. I don't want to be asking people to buy stuff. I just want to get paid. You asking for a job as an artist, who's going to push your art?
Come on.
Who's going to promote you? You have to promote you. At every level, whether it's getting on stage to tour, whether it's doing interviews, whether it's talking to people, whether it's emails, like all of these things that you have to do, you're ultimately selling yourself, your album, your product as a commodity. Sales. And your success is a function of how well you do that. If you want to stay in a house and not talk to nobody, be prepared to understand that you're not going to make as much.
Or get you a team in place.
Yeah, get someone else to do it.
You know what I'm saying? Get you a team in place that can handle that kind of shit. That was the only way that I was successful in the beginning, because I wasn't selling shit. But I had a good team in place.
Yes.
He had a great team to where I knew I just had to show up and do what I did. And unfortunately that did hurt me down the line, because I didn't understand the shit that I needed to do once I did get independent and start doing this shit on my own. I had to kind of start from scratch and going through some of those. We've had conversations. Oh, that's why y'all did so and so. When unforeseen came. Now I get it. Now I get it. So yeah,
man. So it's a sales job. And this is not to discourage you from it, because the key to me has been, because I don't think I'm a natural seller of things. The key to me is understanding that, like, there is an art in selling your stuff, right? And there is an art in, like, being able to explain why your shit is worthy, right? Like, if you truly believe in what you're making, it's not even like you're selling it. It's like, you're just like, look, I know this shit is fucking fire. I just need to remind y'all. It's different than selling a product that you have no connection to.
Right.
I couldn't sell a vacuum cleaner like I can sell my album.
Right.
I didn't make that shit. I don't believe in that shit. I ain't got no carpet in my fucking house. But I can tell you what this album will do.
Right.
I can let you know why you need this motherfucker. It's different. But there's sales. This is sales. There's many skills you need, but sales is one of them. You need to understand.
And that's one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing it independent, it's a sales job, it's a marketing job, branding job, it's a customer service job.
Yeah.
It's all kind of jobs rolled into one, but it's a job.
Thank you.
Like, it's a job. Now you may not have to look at it as work if you're enjoying what you're doing. Everything's not going to be enjoyable though.
Right. Yeah.
Everything's not going to be fun. Yeah. And that's how it is with work too. People who even love their jobs, their normal jobs.
Yeah.
They don't like every part of it.
No.
There's some shit that they're like, oh, fuck, is, inventory week. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, they hate inventory week.
I gotta fire
Other than
somebody.
that, they love their job.
Yep.
Yeah, gotta fire somebody. Gotta find, now I gotta hire somebody. I gotta find somebody that does this because I don't know how to do. Like, there's all kind of shit that you have to do, especially if you're doing it yourself. There's all kind of, moving parts to this. And if you don't take the mindset of you're working for yourself.
Yeah.
Working is the key thing. You're working for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
then you're not going to be successful. If your expectations is to be a full-time artist at some point, or even have this be a second job, and you're not looking at it in those terms, it's not going to work for you.
Yep. Yeah, man. That's number 6. Okay. And this kind of leads into number 7, which, makes perfect sense. Number 7 consideration for people who are working full time and trying to pursue your art is that you're going to work harder for yourself than you do for that job. I don't know where the idea came from artists that getting to work for yourself means that you don't have to work as hard, or that you'll even work equally hard as you did at that job. I'm going to tell you, I don't know a single small business owner, and this ain't got nothing to do with art. This is just the nature of owning your own business. You're going to work more hours for yourself than you do a regular job. You're going to take your work home with you. You're not going to have as much time off as other people do. You're going to have more responsibility because everything stops at you. It's not less work. If you think you're just that becoming a full-time artist means I just get to sit around and do art all day, you're sadly mistaken. You're going to have a rude awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this now, like, just because you make art all day and you don't have a job don't make you a full-time artist. Like, you ain't got no job. Okay, you unemployed. You ain't no full-time artist.
Right, you unemployed. You unemployed.
Until you start making money off this shit, you're not no full-time artist. Because you got to judge that by the same criteria you judge your job with.
Right.
You go to work full-time for them because it pays you, right? When you start doing art full-time, the money ain't important. I'm full-time artist. I don't make shit. I don't put out shit. I just sit around and live off everybody else and call myself an artist. No, it's not your job till you make money.
Starving artists is a real thing.
Yes.
It's real.
It's not a cliche.
Nah, it's real.
I never want to be no starving artist. Like, I want to be a prosperous artist. And that means that I have to approach my art like a business and be serious about it. And part of that means that I know I'm going to be working more hours for myself than I would for anybody else. The only difference is that the work is more rewarding.
Right.
Because it's for me. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back. This is your weekly reminder that we have 2 books that you, as a listener or watcher of this podcast, need to absolutely own. The first is The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and the second is The Social Media Cheat Code. Both of these books were released within the last year. The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists is a book where I go through the stories and explain the traits that are behind the success of some of the biggest names in hip hop today. The book has got nothing but amazing feedback. And if you are an artist, business person, whatever you do, if you would like to be inspired and would like to learn more about hip hop along the way and also see some reinforcement of the concepts that we talk about on this podcast, The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop is for you. Second book is The Social Media Cheat Code. That is for everyone who listens to this podcast who does not consider themselves an expert or really good at social media. It's not for super experienced people. It's actually for people who are on social media but are not getting the results you need. So what we did is I broke down like 12 or 13 strategies that I use all the time that actually work really well for me. I put it into book. I gave you examples and I tell you how to implement it. That's a book you absolutely need as a listener to this podcast, watcher of this podcast. If you're on YouTube, supporting these books actually goes a long way towards supporting the podcast. So to support the show, if you like what we do, obviously we don't necessarily get paid to do this shit. So support the products and services that we create And these 2 books are a big part of that. We appreciate your support. And back to the show. All right, folks. We are back. Super duty tough work. Blueprint. The logic.
What up?
3 more bullet points to go. You know, this episode is a little bit longer than usual. But so
necessary.
Yeah. We had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The truth about working full time, pursuing your art. We got 3 bullet points left. Number 8 thing you need to understand is that freedom creates pressure.
You don't work, you don't. It's the realest shit.
Hey, say it again, man.
You don't work, you don't eat. You don't. I mean, that's the thing about being a professional full-time artist is if you don't put out records, if you don't do the administrative shit, especially if you're independent, you don't make money.
Hello.
Point blank, period.
Yep. You eat what you kill out here, man.
Come on, man.
If you're not going out there killing it, you're not eating it, man.
Starving.
Yeah. It's like you got 2 lions, you know. You got the lion who's raised in the zoo every day at 3 p.m. He know somebody gonna come around and throw a big slab of meat in that cage.
Mm-hmm.
He fat, sloppy. He ain't ran in years. He wouldn't know what to do. If a gazelle walked right across his fucking footsteps, he'd be like, "What is that?"
Right.
He'd say hello. Yeah, hey, how you doing?
What else? How's life?
Yeah, how you doing today? Then you got the lion who's in the fucking outback. He's in the jungle. He's like, "Yo, man, I don't know when the next meal coming.
Right.
I wake up, we go get it."
Mm-hmm.
Some days
gazelle better not walk by.
Right, that thing walk by. He's getting snapped. They know better.
Right.
You let a gazelle walk past me. That'd be his last day walking. He'd be dinner immediately. We'd be
eating for a week.
Yeah. You know, like that's how it happens. That's the difference. That's the difference. There's a different pressure that comes with working for yourself. And it brings out something in you that's really dope because it makes you really creative in seeing angles that you might not have seen otherwise. But at the same time, some people are not built for the pressure that comes along with knowing, as you said, if you don't do nothing, you don't eat. Some people are used to the kind of structure that whereas they just want to show up and do a routine set of things and know that that thing's going to happen. This business is one where you can do a routine set of things and maybe it doesn't happen because, again, it's art, it's subjective. But you're in it because you know that if it does pop off, you get paid proportionally. You make way more than you would have as a person who just took the regular paycheck. That's why you do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some people aren't built for that. I like to tell people that shit ahead of time. Like, man, what's that like? I mean, look, this is the best job I ever had on an emotional sense, a fulfilling sense. But I'm a different person. You know, I was just the kid with the paper route. You know what I mean? At age 12, I was the kid going door to door selling candy. You know, I went and got a job at the Ohio State Fair, bussing tables when I was 15. Couldn't work in no restaurants, but they let us clean tables off. I went and did that and got paid under the table. Till the day I turned 16, I got a job at McDonald's. Long story short, I've been working since I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
What can I say? Always been like that. People who are like that are going to be successful at whatever they fucking do. But artists are a different breed. I'm an artist too. But being a full-time artist means that, you know, sometimes you gotta accept it. There's gonna be some pressure that comes along with knowing that if you don't do nothing, nothing's gonna happen, you know? And not just in a monetary sense, like if you don't promote yourself, no one's gonna know about you.
Right.
If you don't organize that event, nobody gonna come sign you up. If you don't set up that show, it ain't gonna happen. If you don't talk to those graphic designers, shit ain't gonna get done. If you don't pay for it, it ain't gonna happen. Buck stops at you. And sometimes having a job helps ease that pressure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Because you already know I got money coming in.
Thank you.
So it's not as much of a pressure thing, and it's more fun.
Yes.
You know, it's more, you have the ability to look at it more as a hobby when you have a regular paying job, because you know, well, if it don't sell, I still get paid every 2 weeks.
Ding, 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 ding.
You know what I'm saying? But if you doing it full time, if you professional, and it don't sell, I'm gonna pay my rent. I'm gonna pay this house note.
Yeah, I literally put everything into that.
Right, I put everything in, and I barely made enough to pay my light bill.
Yeah.
What the hell am I gonna do right now?
Yeah.
Like that's a completely different. That's a different feeling, man.
Yeah.
That's a different feeling. I mean, and that's part of why I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I was doing it full time, there was those times where it was like, shit, I gotta pay rent in a couple weeks, and you know, this royalty check wasn't, you know, it wasn't as big as last one.
Right. It's up and down. It's like,
yeah, it's up and down. I don't know. I gotta figure some shit out. I gotta, you know, put it on my credit card. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do, you know, like it's definitely, it's volatile as hell. Like we said, it's volatile.
Yeah,
you know,
but you know, it's and so and we say this because we want people to understand that while it isn't, working for somebody else ain't sexy. Being an artist is sexy, right? But we wanted to have this conversation because we want you to know that, there's some things about your job that actually are good.
Yeah.
And if when you decide to make that move, you need to know what you're getting into on the other side, because a lot of people ain't gonna tell you this. They're gonna say, man, just keep grinding, just do it, just quit your job, do that, go hard. Then what happens? But they don't give you no plan. They don't tell you, they don't give you no outline.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what character traits you need. Then you get out there and it'd be so different than what you thought.
Mm-hmm. And it gets discouraging if your expectations ain't where they should be. Like something we was talking about off air. You know, a lot of people see professional artists, you know, like yourself, like the Slugs of the world, like, you know, the Aesops of the world, and they like, I want to be like them. But you don't understand spend a day with Print.
Yeah.
Spend a day, a week, and see really all the shit that goes into, you know, King No Crown.
Yep.
You know, making and doing a campaign like that, or doing a fucking book campaign.
Yeah.
You know, like, see what goes into that, all the unsexy shit. And see, and that's just spending a day or a week with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine doing this shit for 20 years to get to a point. Like, the shit's not all sexy. It's not all fucking flowers and rainbows, man.
No, it's true. It's true. So number 9, we're getting close to the end. Number 9 point we want to make to you all is that structure is good. Say it with me, y'all. Structure is good. Structure's not bad. I know in art it's like a 4-letter word. Structure. Who wants that? I want freedom. It's like the opposite of freedom, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. It's really not. It's what you think. Structure is fucking good. We've talked many times on this podcast about how I try to structure my days, because I know that anytime I don't have structure, I feel lost. I lose sight of what I'm trying to do. I get behind. I get off track. But when I have something that says, okay, here's your priorities. Here's what you need to work on. Here's the times. Here's how much time you need to put in this. I get so much more productive and get so much more done. And we're not just talking about business side. I'm talking about art. It's okay to say, hey, 6 to 10, you're working on your music every night. You ain't going to go down there at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? 10, you're done. You're not going to be up till 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Structure is good, y'all. Having jobs allows you to have structure because, like you said earlier, 8 hours of your day is doing something else.
Yep.
But peep this. Your day is broken up into 3 8-hour segments.
Yes.
8 hours for somebody else. 8 hours for sleep. The question becomes, what do you do with the last 8?
Yep.
Okay.
How do you use it? I mean, because that's how I started making beats.
Yeah.
I scheduled 3 hours a night after work, 7 to 10, and I would spend those 3 hours working on beats.
Mm-hmm.
And at 10 o'clock, I was upstairs, and I took Fridays off.
See?
You know what I'm saying? Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10, I was making beats. I was working on that shit.
Yeah,
and
man.
Friday was my free day. After work, kick it with the wife, kick it with the kids, not do nothing, make beats if I wanted. That's why I started streaming on Fridays, because that was my free day. You know what I'm saying? So I turned it into another work day, but it was a day I had open because of how my schedule worked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And there's so many jewels in this.
Yeah, man. And what I really want, I want people who are listening to this to understand that there's something to be gained from that job. The structure that I use and apply to everything that's allowed me to do this for 20 years. I learned that in corporate America. I learned that working. I learned it because I had to, because I was determined to use that remaining 8 hours of my day to build this thing up. And I did that for several years before I had the opportunity to do it full time. And I hope you see the same thing. Don't create like a negative association with the word structure. Create a positive one, because the positive structure you add to your creative work is going to be what allows you to consistently have a high output, to make more money, to reach fans, to do what you need to do, and treat it like the career that it can truly become. You have to do that before you have the time, right? Because truly, I mean, a full-time artist, you're just gaining another 8 hours.
Yeah.
You're going to work 8 hours for somebody, right? Now you just got that 8 hours for yourself. Now you got 16 hours for yourself, 8 for sleep. But what people don't understand is that just because you got another 8 hours for yourself don't mean you get to spend that on that shit every day.
Right.
You know, so I hope people understand that. Structure's good. Seek structure and understand that shit is the key to unlocking higher output and better quality. All right. Last joint. All right. Art needs money. Art needs money. There's this movie I watched a long time ago, and it was about the Minutemen. It's like Minutemen were like this white revolutionary group who were like friends with the Black Panthers. And the Minutemen, you know, they were like, let's do all the stuff that the Panthers can't do, you know. So we'll just, but they ended up getting into like blowing up shit. You know what I mean? Like they were ill. This is the same time period, you know. And documentary was dope. And ultimately, they went to jail for like robbing banks. And so the dude interviewing one of the Minutemen was like, man, why did y'all start robbing banks? And he was like, every revolutionary movement needs funding. So we start robbing banks. Yeah. And it always made me think about like art. Like, don't you, if these fools got to do that just to do what they were doing, your art needs money too. All art needs money. It needs money more than it needs time. Just having more time is not going to do it.
No, because if you got more time and you broke, you just got more time.
Thank you.
You can't do that when you broke.
No, you got time. You got money. You can buy time.
Yes.
You got money. You can pay somebody else to do something for you. I ain't got to be good at graphic design because I got enough money to hire Il Poetic. You know what I mean? I ain't got to be good at hold the camera myself. I can hire my guy Mario to hold the camera, to shoot, to edit. These are things. But if you broke, you in trouble. You know, your art deserves the opportunity that only resources can give it. And make sure that you don't trick yourself into thinking that the only thing your art needs is more time. You know, you're viewing it artistically. make sure you also put on a financial lens. And then you'll be able to, make the right moves and make that transition, hopefully. So that's it for this week, man.
That's it.
I hope that this inspires some of you to look at things a little bit differently about your jobs. I'm not going to sit out here and try to, after all, I am the guy who wrote a song called Fuck a Job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go out here and praise jobs, but I will say that we have to have a more nuanced conversation and stop vilifying people who work or trying to make them look like they're not real artists because they have jobs. Stop telling yourself that. So let me read these back. Number 1, it's okay to have a job. Number 2, time is what you make of it. Number 3, jobs teach you transferable skills. Number 4, you should be stacking and planning. Number 5, learn to live below your means. Number 6, this shit is a sales job. Number 7, you work harder for yourself than you do for others. Number 8, freedom can create pressure. Number 9, structure is good. Number 10, art needs money more than it needs time. That's it, y'all. I hope y'all got something out of this. And Monday night, quick reminder, Artist Advice Hour at 8. Beats and B-sides at 9 p.m. Check us out. Bring your questions for the Artist Advice Hour, and I'll be answering them. And you guys, see y'all next week.
Word.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.